stay focused on that. As you guys know, this is a lot of fun. Free speech is respected here on the right, and I'll tell you, this is pretty amazing to see in Tucson, of all places, everybody. This is pretty great. So we have a question here from somebody.
Hi, Charlie. My name's Bryce. That's very loud. I wasn't expecting this many people to come here. But I recently just came out as they, them. And I was talking to my guys over there at the White Dudes for Harris. And we were talking about like who we were voting for and everything. So obviously I'm going to be voting for Kamala Harris because Taylor Swift is. But this was a question that I kind of wanted to ask more in private, not in front of all these people. But because I identify as they, them, does that mean I can vote multiple times?
Well, have you voted already?
No, I have not.
Well, maybe since you...
That's a legitimate question,
It
actually.
is. Tulsi, do you want to take this? Well, I will tell you that since you haven't voted yet, maybe as they, them could vote for Trump-Vance 2024.
Okay. Can I vote twice?
Probably not.
Okay, then I'm not a they, them anymore.
But I will say, though, that you can cancel out any of your support with Kamala Harris by voting for Donald Trump.
I will be voting for Donald Trump in 2024.
Yeah. Thank you, Bryce, for your question. Give it up for Bryce, everybody.
All right, now how the fuck do I get out of here?
Okay. All right.
Hello. Funny guy.
First of all, all right. First of all, wow. It's crazy to see two of the most active conservatives here. And thank you, Mrs. Tulsi, for your service. I appreciate it a lot. I appreciate you for defending our country.
Thank you.
And so,
what's your name?
My name is Jew, like the religion, but I'm a Christian. So,
do you have to say that a lot?
Yeah. I don't know. It's kind of like a signature calling card, but that's just me. So for context for my question, I suffer from anxiety and obsessive compulsive disorder. I've been through a lot in my life. I've done good things and I've done bad things. And because of my life experiences, I have a very bad tendency to catastrophize a lot about a lot of things, but more specifically our future. And I look on social media and everywhere I go, and admittedly fake news, but I go everywhere, I look everywhere, and I see a lot of hatred and a lot of division going on from mostly the left, admittedly, but overall it's just a lot of hatred and division going on. And so...
honestly, if you're being honest, most of the division does come from the left. I mean, honestly... I haven't seen too many Trump supporters really try to say, oh, we should bash them, we should criticize them, we should call them idiots, uninformed, and all this crazy stuff, conspiracy theories.
Call for violence against them.
Yeah, it's like, bro, Trump supporters don't do that. That's the funniest thing I've just figured out. Actually, I believe I have a video that kind of just proves that my point. That we just don't have that vitriol that y'all do. Let's just be real.
Trump supporters, if they want to talk, they can. I will not fight back unless they touch me first. If they do, I'm going to jail tonight. Make sure you go to my
Instagram.
So he's going into this whole situation expecting for them to cuss at him, call him names, and be racist?
I think his name is Muggsy.
Yeah. So far, we got good reactions. Actually, nice people. Believe it or not, we got 2 nice people already. I'll be the only black man in this crowd right now. I'm keeping it with y'all, okay? Okay, like I said, y'all, we got a bunch of people out here. They're smiling at me. They're not saying nothing mean, okay? Maybe.
Yo, he really expecting people to just
be racist
just because he's black. He's expecting Trump supporters to like
throw N-words,
call him names and stuff. Wow.
I'm Ryan Dirks. I run for U.S. Congress.
Really?
Yeah, to represent us up in D.C.
Oh my God, bless you, man.
Yeah, no kidding. Who you filming to?
YouTube. My fans.
It's time for us to quit bitching and canceling and hating each other. It's time to find some damn solutions to get this stuff figured out, you know?
I respect it.
All right, bro.
And they respect me here.
I mean,
I don't know if he shut up to agitate. I actually know this guy. He's like a fitness influencer. I think he's out of Kansas City. And yeah, he does wrestling as well.
Hey, I like him already. Yeah. All right. And shout out Big Wave Day, man. Republicans are about you live your own life. Leave me and mine alone. Very simple. That's what I'm saying. It's a very simple understanding that conservatives and Republicans push. It's like, oh, I like it. It's not, I'm going to try to infringe on your life and like try to teach your kids stuff that you don't want. It's like, okay. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why a lot of people get down with the conservatives. It's like, they're not nosy people.
Question I really want to ask you both is, as men and women of America, as religious people, and as political figures, what inspires you? What inspires you to keep on going and to keep on being optimistic in a country that seems to be so full of hate and political division right now?
First of all,
it's okay if I record, right?
Of course.
Thank you.
I find my hope in God and God's unconditional love for every single one of us.
Yeah.
So no matter how dark the days may seem, and sometimes there are very dark days, and we face dark times in our future, if we don't take action now and in this election, but even in those darkest of times where I find strength, where I find peace, and where I find courage to be a voice for common sense and the truth and freedom for all Americans, it comes from knowing that God's love is eternal and that He will give me that clarity and strength to do the right thing for the right reasons.
Thank you.
Yeah, and for me, look around you. This should give you hope for the future. This is supposed to be on a liberal college campus, and I agree with Tulsi. We must understand that there is a God and we are not Him, and that God has a plan, and that God loves us. And as a Christian, I believe that manifested in His Son, Jesus Christ, and those who give their life to Jesus Christ.
Man, the only Democrats in Arizona is the one they letting over the border. Man.
And so, look, we must not grow tired in doing good or noble things.
Allegedly.
And what an amazing thing. And I'll only correct one thing you say.
Okay.
Because this is not about conservative or liberal today. I consider myself a conservative. Tulsi at one time ran for president as a Democrat. Everybody, this is a moment that's bigger than politics.
Yes.
That this is now bigger than whether Charlie's a conservative or Tulsi was co-chair of the DNC. This is about America and defeating the forces that want to destroy our country.
Wow.
That is what this is all about.
Let's go!
Thank you very much.
I just want to say thank you for coming here today.
You're dangerously misinformed.
Thank you. Who's up next?
Get in there, bro.
So, first off, I'd like to personally thank Tulsi Gabbard for destroying Harris's 2020 presidential run. And so this is mainly towards Charlie Kirk, because I sort of know your views. Obviously, the topic of like foreign involvement, U.S. foreign involvement in foreign countries is a little contentious with conservatives right now. How would you balance supporting our allies and supporting, even if it unfortunately means we have to send troops in, with how would you balance that with also working on our supporting our own people?
I think this is actually a better question for Tulsi, if that's okay.
No.
This is one of her passion topics, and Tulsi served and serves in our military. And so, Tulsi, you want to take that?
Yeah, sure. This is personal for a lot of reasons. I still serve in the Army Reserve. I'm a lieutenant colonel and a battalion commander. I've deployed to 3 different war zones at different times over the last 20 years. I have friends who are deployed into combat zones today. I know Kamala Harris is not aware of their existence. Which is both a sad and disastrous state of affairs that in and of itself disqualifies her to be our commander-in-chief. But I was talking to a friend of mine.
The fact that she didn't know that there were soldiers fighting in other countries, I'm like, yeah, that's how I know you don't handle foreign relations when that's one of your jobs.
Think about it. She doesn't know how serious the issue of the southern border is. Like, what makes us think she knows what's going on geopolitically or with our nation's troops? Like,
well, if you ask her,
she's about as clueless as a newbie to politics.
But here's the thing, though. If you honestly ask Kamala, she'll just tell you Donald Trump, Donald Trump, Donald Trump.
Mine the other day who lost both of his legs in combat. And all of us who raise our hands and volunteer to serve in our military are willing to lay our lives down to ensure the safety, security, and freedom of the American people. What we do not sign up for is politicians who care more about feeding the military-industrial complex and the war machine than they do about our lives, but the safety and security of the American people's lives. What we need are leaders, and this is why I've endorsed President Trump in this election, who will always make those decisions in balancing. You asked a very good question. How do you balance the need for us to engage and stand with our allies and partners and put the American people's interests first? Every decision has to be made within the context of what serves the needs of the American people first, period. And that includes our national security needs. That includes our liberty and our freedom, which is often on the line when we are in a state of war. The war machine takes advantage of that to try to take away more of our freedom. And it has to do with our economic well-being as well. If we have a president and commander-in-chief who makes every decision about what's in the best interest of the American people, we won't go wrong.
And I'll just say one thing. We don't have to overcomplicate this. We should not send another dollar to Ukraine while our border is wide open. Period.
Facts.
Yes, please follow up with Tulsi, but
So,
that's
all right,
my
yeah.
position in one sentence.
So the reason I asked that
You
is
gotta
a
tell Ukraine, look, you gotta figure it out, man. We gotta lock the border. And shout out, man, Mike G. He says, stop pushing the narrative and we'll all get along. I'm telling you, yeah, we'll all get along if everybody just stops pushing a narrative. Honestly, if we just treat Trump like a human and y'all just talk about his politics instead of, oh, he's a rapist, I don't know, felon and all this other wild stuff. It's like, bro, just let it go. Let it go if you can. And bro, just debate us on the policies. And y'all, and it's funny because y'all figure out that, well, his policies are actually pretty damn good and they're hard to debate. So best thing you can do is name call. Well, Trump and whoever you're debating.
little personal because I'm from Japan.
Or
and obviously
with.
China has been increasingly aggressive. And there's why a lot of Japanese people are reluctant to fully support Trump.
Make sure to like the video, man. Double tap that screen or the 3 dots up there, man. We appreciate the support.
They're afraid that you'll sort of throw us under the bus if China drags Japan into a war. So,
here's what I'd say to that, and I understand the concern, but we need a president who will prevent war.
Right.
Period.
But
period.
I agree.
And the opportunity is there with the right kind of leadership, and this is a huge point of difference between President Trump and Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris has criticized President Trump for doing what we should expect our leaders to do, which is to engage in direct diplomacy, whether it be with dictators or adversaries, opposition, as well as friends and partners, because that's how you that is how you prevent war. Yes, it is strength, it is peace through strength, but that's not just through the buildup of military hardware and capability. That's through engaging in the kind of leadership that we've seen in President John F. Kennedy, that we've seen in President Ronald Reagan, and that we saw in President Trump's first administration.
Thank you so much. God bless you. Thank you. All right. People who have election-related questions, disagreements for Tulsi and I, come on to the front of the line, guys, or just we can keep going. So it's open mic. Thank you.
Shout out to disagreements.
Hello.
What's your name?
My name is Aileen. I am a U.S. citizen, but I was raised in Mexico. I came here because my parents one day want to come back, but legally, you know, they want to do it in the right way. And by coming here to school, it was going to be an opportunity, but the school looks like it's going to give more opportunity to people who don't come here legally instead of me, who I am a citizen, and I've been working for over a year to get my scholarship. Nothing came back, so today I had to drop out of college, sadly.
Damn.
And how is it possible that I have to go back to my parents in Mexico and trying to look for a job there when I've been looking for months here in the United States as a citizen to fight for my rights to get a job and get an income here just so my parents can come back in the right way. And also, my family is fully Democrat. I am here opening up. Finally, if they see me over there, I'm sorry for you, but I've opened my eyes.
Yeah, because it's downright disrespectful. She's like, yo, I got to drop out because I can't find work because y'all giving it to immigrants. And Arizona is a border state. They see this the worst. I mean, if Kamala Harris has lost anything, she's lost, well, she should lose every border state. This is what it does. This is what it puts people through. For those of y'all who can't conceptualize it, this is what happens. God bless you. God bless.
Thank you.
I'd love your thoughts on this, Tulsi, but I'll say this. It is reprehensible and wrong that the people that come here the right way are punished and the people that come here the wrong way are rewarded. That is wrong.
Yes.
The people that cut in line get benefits. They get taxpayer-funded subsidies. They get flights to the city they're choosing. They get luxury hotels. Where you came here the right way. You followed the rules,
Yes.
and you are being punished. It is a breakdown of justice and fairness, and
Yeah.
Donald Trump will not put up with that. He will say, if you follow the rules, you'll be rewarded. If you break the rules, you will be punished. That is what
Yeah.
Trump will do as president.
Thank you so much.
I just want to encourage you and tell you to stay strong. Don't give up. Keep up the fight. You are doing the right thing in the right way, and know that you're not alone.
Thank you.
Yep, never give up.
Just one thing. Jesus Christ loves you all. He will come back one day. Amén a todos. Cuídense.
God bless you. What a great soul. Okay, I thought we had a disagreement. Maybe if not, are we going to keep going? No? Okay, great.
Jesus Christ is my Lord and Savior, and my name is Christopher. I had a lot of questions, a lot of debates in the crowd today, but my main question would be, how do we start having conversations in the workplace without infringing on, the rules of work, but still be able to make it friendly? Because I used to work at a job where I would bring up, conversations about border and immigration and abortion and stuff, and I would make people aware. I would give them factual news information, but then they all turned on me all of a sudden one day, and I didn't understand how you could go from smiling in your face to stabbing you in the back the next day. And how do we cultivate a more friendly atmosphere in our workforce where we're mostly at majority of our life?
I mean, yeah, that's the problem. It's like you can't really look. Free speech there is free speech, but it's restricted in certain places. And it's kind of crazy because if you had liberal ideas, he could talk all he wants. But as soon as he brought some conservative ideas, people look at him funny. And some of these companies practice regressive tolerance. Like, yeah, they'll accept any lefty ideal, but they will accept nothing from the right. And that's a problem. I mean, trust me, a lot of colleges are like this. Workplaces are like this. Man, households are like this.
The First Amendment is the First Amendment. Yeah. I think when you're having these conversations, what I have found, even when I meet with people who come into the conversation ready for a fight, when you listen first, and if they're communicating in good faith, then you can have a true and real conversation that is based on respect.
Yeah.
You can respect where someone's coming from, even if you disagree with them.
Right.
And then share your own experience, share your own thoughts, share what's on your heart with them. And again, if it's a good faith conversation, then it will flourish from there. If they're not interested in having a conversation, it's not worth confronting them with.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Thank you. God bless you. Thank you.
Hey, so I'm currently undecided.
Yeah, just try to talk right in the mic, okay?
Gotcha. So I'm currently undecided in the election. And so my main issue that would be the turning point for me in voting for Trump over Kamala Harris would be essentially just corruption and corporate money in government, which is my biggest issue by far. And from all of the research I've done, it seems to consistently point to the same amount of money being sent to both political parties. So I'd like to hear your argument as a Republican for voting for Trump in that regard.
And shout out Big Wave Day, man. You know the trolls are desperate now. 2 fake accounts so far. Sorry, Luke. Sorry, Dirk. It's like, hold on, they got Luke, bro. They got Dirk. No way. Hey, yo, it is next level, bro. That's crazy. It's next level. It is next level. Oh, and I know this person. I know who's doing this. Oh, Lord. I know who's doing this, guys. Oh, Lord. Hey, man. You know we doing something right when you got haters going this far.
I can tell you, I don't have the actual numbers on the top of mind, but I'll take Big Pharma as one example. Their capture of the FDA and so many of these agencies that are supposed to be looking out for us are actually looking out for Big Pharma. And when you look at the amount of money that's been given to Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, it far outweighs by many multiples of 10 how much has been given to the Republican Party, first of all. Second of all, Trump has spoken to this specific issue directly in his podcast with Theo Vaughn, specifically about Big Pharma and his willingness to take them on. President Trump isn't looking for handouts from big corporations at all. He's shown that he is ready to take on, not only through his own actions, by bringing people together like Bobby Kennedy, who's dedicated his entire life to taking on these big industries, that he is serious about taking our government back and putting it back into the hands of the people.
Right. So I understand that, but to me, there's just two sides to this. From what I've seen, it tends to be that, yes, like you said, Big Pharma does give a significantly larger amount of money to the Democratic Party. But from what I've seen, companies like oil companies, for example, will give a significantly larger amount to the Republican Party. So in my mind, it honestly just seems like a choice between which corporations I'd rather win, and I'm just not a big fan of that.
Okay, so a couple things though. Trump has said that no lobbyist will be part of his transition team, which is very important. So the personnel, you know who is? Tulsi Gabbard is part of his transition team. And I just want to brag on Tulsi for a second. Tulsi ran for president as a Democrat and was the co-chair of the Democrat National Party. She wrote an amazing book that you should check out and read, where she saw not just the corruption from corporations, but how corporations have merged with government and then are repressing our free speech rights. So you look at what the Democrat Party has become. They are shameless in wanting the FBI and the Department of Justice to try to interfere on their behalf to try to get a specific result, where Donald Trump is the victim of that sort of administrative state lawfare persecution. Secondly, and I think this is a really important thing, is, and I'd ask you, what issue would you say is the most important to make sure that corporate influence is diminished? Maybe foreign policy, like war, would probably be a big one, right? I could say confidently, and it's not even close, Kamala Harris is outraising money 10-1 from the war machine versus Donald Trump. She had Leon Panetta speak at her convention. Dick Cheney and Liz Cheney have endorsed her. The warmongers that gave us the Iraq War and the Afghanistan War are her senior advisors now of her inner circle. And so I will say that you're never going to find a perfect candidate with the issue you care about, because unfortunately you have to raise a lot of money to be able to compete. However, on the issue that I think is one of the most important.
Hey man, them ads is expensive. Them ads are definitely expensive. That's why I was confused when Kamala did that one ad just to talk about go vote. And I'm just like, you spent money on that? Like, what was the point?
Are people getting rich off the suffering and the death of others through declaring and invading wars? It's not even close. Kamala Harris is financing.
Like, bro, it'd hit a lot better if they had I voted for Trump sticker instead of just, I don't vote. I'm like, wait, what? Or I did not vote.
Her campaign from Halliburton, from
terrible.
Boeing, from Lockheed Martin, and Northrop Grumman.
Right. So I definitely understand that. That's a great argument. I get that they do have to raise money, and I would say that, yeah, my biggest issue would be in terms of war and Big Pharma specifically, like she was talking about. So, yeah, that would end up leaning me towards the Republican Party, despite myself being a liberal. So, yeah, I think those are some great points. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
Great
Think
questions.
About that.
Thank you.
Thank you. Give it up for him. That was a great in faith question, wasn't it? It was great. Okay, disagreements or just questions in general? Yeah, come on up. Anybody? Sure? Yeah.
Good afternoon. Thank you for your service, Ms. Gabbard, for anything. I just have one question related to the election for you. How can you endorse someone who lost the last election fair and square? There's no evidence.
Let him finish, guys.
Republican secretaries of state claimed it was fair. Trump tried to leverage the Georgia Secretary of State, Brad Raffensperger. He said to find me 11,700 votes. He has no respect for losing in our system. And what happened on January 6th happened on January 6th. A disaster. Our capital got stormed for the first time since 1812. You people claim to love America. Like, how does that not fire you up?
Well, do you know why they stormed in
All right,
1812?
It's a fair question. So let's talk through a couple elements of this. First, do you think the CIA should involve itself in American elections?
No.
Okay, so it did in 2020.
Show me proof.
Okay, well, Tulsi Gabbard knows this. She could tell you.
shout out. Actually, Tulsi Gabbard and Charlie Kirk were a part of that 2000 Mules documentary.
Yeah.
Shout out.
Wait. What was actually? Hold on. There was something else that he said though that kind of caught me.
It's a fair question. So let's talk through a couple elements of this. First,
hold on.
Do you think the CIA should involve itself in American election?
Yeah, because even he said proof. All right, I'd have put him to, well, look at Mark Zuckerberg. He literally came out saying that he interfered with the election. He wrote a letter pretty much saying that, yeah, I was coerced by the government. My bad for selling out, folks. Pretty much an apology for selling out. And ever since then, he's been like, coming to life all of a sudden. Oh, God. Oh, man.
No.
Okay, so it did in 2020.
Show me proof.
Okay, well, Tulsi Gabbard knows this. You could tell you 50 intel officials colluded, led by Tony Blinken, due to declassified emails, signing an open letter calling the Hunter Biden laptop
so
Russian.
Why weren't any of the lawsuits
Let me
successful?
finish. I did not. Hold on.
Raised plenty of them.
Hold on a second. I didn't interrupt you, right? So let me finish. 50 intel officials, current and former, signed a letter that was used to censor on social media the fact that there is a laptop owned by Hunter Biden that showed very suspicious and criminal activity by both Hunter and Joe Biden. According to the Media Research Center, 1 out of 4 voters in swing states would have changed their vote if they would have known about the Hunter Biden laptop.
That's an utter ridiculous statement to make.
I just cited it.
He lost by 7 million votes.
Well, hold on. No. He lost by 42,000 votes across 3 states. Hold on, pal. How much did he lose Arizona by?
Okay.
No. Hold on. How much did he lose this state by?
It's not about the final score. It's a winner and a loser and a loss.
No,
that's how our system works.
We have an electoral college system.
Yeah.
So
who got the electoral votes?
No, of course Biden did. But what was the margin in Arizona?
I don't know.
It was 10,000 votes.
Not in the back of my head.
Yeah. So how much in Georgia?
It was 11,700. That's what they told Raffensperger to find
and
him.
in Wisconsin, it was
a Republican who denounces them.
And in Wisconsin, it was 21,000, right? So it was actually 42,000, not 7 million. So when you're talking about the CIA and the Department of Justice signing a letter that was then used to, I did not have my Twitter account for 30 days. We were not allowed to mention the Hunter Biden laptop.
Because you violated a private company's privacy.
Well, no, actually, I didn't.
Guidelines.
It's actually
yes, you did.
No, because of the Twitter files, thanks to Elon Musk, we now know the FBI told Twitter to say you are not allowed to mention the Hunter Biden laptop.
Yep. Is Mark Zuckerberg's letter admitting that he sold out, Elon Musk Twitter files. I mean, bro, what else do y'all need to know? That's it. The government definitely, or the CIA played a hand in helping Biden get in, allegedly.
Am I correct in this, Tulsi?
Like, what else do y'all need to hear?
You don't trust the FBI at all.
These people, first off, Zuckerberg snitched on himself, and Elon Musk had to buy a company to give y'all the truth, and y'all still can't accept it?
I don't know.
Devoted their life to civil service.
That's a red herring. I'm saying in that instance,
$44 million.
Yoel Roth. Do you know who Yoel Roth was?
I don't know.
Yeah,
who
okay. Yoel
is.
Roth was the head of security, trust, and safety for Twitter that had what's called a standing room meeting every Tuesday with the Federal Bureau of Investigation in San Francisco, where they met about Russian threats to American interference of elections, and they said this laptop is not allowed to be discussed on your platform. That impacted our election. People made their decisions differently in 2020, not knowing the full picture that this laptop existed, and that was the October surprise. So you would agree that that's not a fair election.
You think the laptop would have flipped the election for him?
Well, we're talking about 42,000 votes in 3 states, and
the fact that they try to hide it.
Well, I say this.
People like, damn, they be lying like that.
I mean, let's be real. Donald Trump would have for sure lost. I mean, for sure lost every single state if, a laptop popped up of his son doing crack and messing with, prostitutes and all that good stuff. So why wouldn't the same, matter for Biden? Like, would you vote for a president who has a crackhead son and, who's running around here doing wild stuff, as we call it, rock star Biden? I mean, can you handle it? Can you trust a man who cannot, I would say, handle his own son to handle an entire country? Like, you can't handle one person, but you expect him to handle what, 300 million plus? Make it make sense.
He cited a study that 1 in 4 swing voters would have changed.
A study by who?
The Media Research
Clarence
Center.
Thomas's Winnebago buyer. Like, who funds these?
I just said by the independent, nonpartisan Media Research Center, where they said 1 out of 4 voters would have changed their opinion. So I just want to make sure we're clear, though. You agree our government should not interfere with our elections?
Well, they have to regulate them by nature. That's the states have to.
Well, no, hold on.
Otherwise, we wouldn't have an election because you need rules
I said
and a judge.
interfere. So should the federal government be able to restrict our speech during elections?
Well, when you have what happened in 2016, where Russian disinformation spreads all over Facebook and other platforms, then you have.
So wait,
it was not a lie.
Who is?
It was.
Oh, he's deep in the libs. Oh yeah. He didn't fell down that liberal rabbit hole.
Yeah.
It's like, ah, crap, bro. Ah, crap.
Not a lie. Read the Mueller report. Another Republican.
Wait, you realize
respected.
the Mueller report found that there was no tangible collusion between Donald Trump or the Russian Federation.
It wasn't about, but
hold
it
on,
wasn't just a collusion thing. It's a 430-page report.
I want to try to find common ground here, okay? I want to try to find common ground.
Yeah.
Can we agree that 2020 was decided by very few votes?
No, because it wasn't.
Well, 42,000 votes is very few, right?
No.
So what is the percentage of 42,000?
It's not about.
Compared to the 300 million Americans, I mean, yeah, that's pretty damn small. 42,000 compared to 300 million. I mean, bro, if you had $300 million in your bank account, would you care about spending 42,000?
Hell no.
Exactly.
George Bush and Al Gore were as close as ever in 2000. Al Gore conceded, said, you know what, I lost. There might be a challenge.
Hold on,
because he cared about the good of the country.
You know, Al Gore brought it all the way up to the Supreme Court, man, and he said that Bush was not the duly elected president.
And he could have gone further because
how do you go further than the Supreme Court?
The Supreme Court sent it back to judgment in the Florida State Supreme Court again, and Gore said, no, I'm not doing that. Just move on. Bush is the president for the good of the country, because people used to care about our country.
No, and of course. So are you trying to imply Trump doesn't care about the country?
I mean,
court man.
He gets no bitches.
Oh my God, that's what some of these libs really.
I mean,
like,
this is like, bro, when y'all liberals talk, this is how we imagine y'all look. You get
no play.
No play. Okay? No play. No play. That's why y'all talk like this.
And he said that Bush was not the duly elected president.
And he could have gone further because
how do you go further than the Supreme Court?
The Supreme Court sent it back to judgment in the Florida State Supreme Court again, and Gore said, no, I'm not doing that. Just move on. Bush is the president for the good of the country, because people used to care about our country.
No, and of course. So are you trying to imply Trump doesn't care about the country?
Yes, that's absolutely what I'm implying. You think You think he sits in his gold room in Trump Tower and thinks, oh, how can I make things better for everyday Joe?
So let me ask one thing, and I'd love to have Tulsi. Just help me understand. So his business empire has been taken away from him.
Mm-hmm.
He's facing
because he broke the law.
Can I finish my thought?
Can you cope?
He's facing 700 years in federal prison. He's been shot once with multiple assassination attempts. Why keep running for president if he doesn't love the country?
Because 100 years from now in a history textbook, it's going to say Donald Trump's name, and that's what motivates narcissists.
Wow.
Okay. You're done.
Look, I will say this. I hope you do some research, because
I've done my research. You need to do your research.
You clearly have it, man.
Obviously.
Look, I will say this as kindly as I can. One day I hope you open your eyes, because you've been significantly brainwashed on this topic. And
maybe...
And
I guess if you do some push-ups, you might get closer to the truth.
Man.
I mean, buff up a little bit. You might get a little closer to the truth and stop relying on this. Like I said, it's an ideological supremacy when dudes out here can walk up looking like this, thinking that they know better than everybody else. This is what I'm gonna be real with you. This is what the physically weak hangs on, liberal ideology, so they can look down on everybody else.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay. It's sad. It's sad. But this is y'all, though.
I feel bad for the young man.
This is y'all. Smug and scrawny.
Educated, but
final question I'll ask is this. If Donald Trump wins in 3 weeks, will you accept that as a legitimate result?
Yes.
Okay, I'll hold you to that.
That's the difference between me and you.
Okay, did Trump win in 2016?
Yes.
But you said that Russian interfered.
Russian interference had a role in the election, but Trump won fair and square. He had more votes and more. And notice how Hillary supporters didn't storm the Capitol.
Well, no, hold on. Hillary never conceded.
Yes, she did.
No, hold on.
She had a concession.